What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. And last time we spoke, I think I was out in Iowa, just got unloaded on a Walmart load. And from there, I went and picked up a Swift meat load, took that down to Stillmore, I think, Georgia. Once I was done unloading that, they gave me a load that was supposed to head to Dallas, which I was kind of happy about because, anytime I'm pushing west, you know what I'm saying? But I was kind of happy about it, but they were going to be closing at 1 o'clock on Christmas Eve. I couldn't make it there on time, so they pulled that load off of me, and they gave me a load going to Chester, New York. Good thing about it, pays $1,000 more, $1,200 more for the same amount of time, same amount of miles, but it's putting me up in that Northeast, and y'all know me, I'm not a fan of the Northeast. I know that I can go and tell them that I don't want to be in the Northeast, but you know what? All I do is before I leave my receiver, I just message dispatch and say, send me west if there's a choice. So I'm not gonna try to block that out or anything like that. But really, one thing it made me do was think about the hardest thing in trucking for me. So if there's anybody that's old school or been driving for, well, hell, you could just be driving for a month. But listen, the hardest thing for me is finding parking. And I understand people like, trip plan, do this, do that. You know what? What I want is anybody that has a way to make that situation easier for me, leave it in the comments below. I'm talking about like how you pick places, just anything that you think can help me, because as soon as I got this load going to Chester, New York, which is about 70 miles north of New York City, I started getting a little anxious about that entire parking situation. And kind of what I've almost thought about doing is, I'm about 1,000 miles away, so I might put 400 miles on it on Christmas Day. Then the next day, just put a little bit on it and then drive it all the way in the next day, so I don't even have to worry about the parking. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but the parking situation, definitely the hardest thing about going solo. When I was team, never had to worry about it. We were never ever at truck stops unless it was like something had gone wrong or they couldn't find a load. Like when we were in Washington, I think that we rarely stopped at truck stops. So to me, this entire thing is new and trying to find these places. So I know I'm rambling, but here's my point. The hardest thing I've encountered in trucking, being solo on my own, is finding parking spots. And the further east you go, the harder it gets. And I think it was a little tough in Oregon, if I remember correctly. But anyway, either way, that's the hardest thing for me. If you have any advice or anything like that, please do leave it in the comments below. Any applications, and that's another thing. The trucking industry is so far behind in technology, whether it be walking around with these paper bills and doing, the trucking applications and everything like that are just so 90s. I'm not sure if they had apps in the 90s, but if they did, this Trucker Path and Road Breakers, please, if you have any other applications that might be a little bit better than Road Breakers and Trucker Path, please leave those in the comment section below, because those things are pretty damn hard to use, especially when there's a bunch of things in one certain area. Anyway, I know I'm rambling. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and all that different kind of stuff. Andrea, a brother loves you. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm gonna relax back here. My load doesn't pick up tomorrow till anywhere between 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. and it is 4:30 So I'm gonna get some good sleep. So I'm gonna come back here, relax a bit. I'm not gonna set my alarm. If I wake up at 6, I wake up at 6. If I wake up at 12, I wake up at 12. Anyway, I'll check y'all out later.